Franchise Sports Media!
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm Kalani.
I'm Griff and Kemp.
Griff, my boy, we had a weekend full of fights and we were not let down, to say the least. We started off on Friday in the other desert, way over there on the other side of the globe. Then we came back to Miami in the 305. Well, it was on fire. Let's start with Friday night.
Yeah.
Boxing, Saudi Arabia, Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou. First off, Griff, are they still doing the card? Is the card still going on? It was like 7 hours. This bout was going on way too long. They need to shorten it up. I'll tell you what, they want to shorten it up. Just had the main event replay. Yeah, Joshua knocks out Ngannou in the second round viciously. What are your thoughts on the matchup and how things went down?
I think this fight needs to be the death of this entire niche of combat sports. The MMA guy going over to the boxer and these weird matchups of even like the social media guys doing boxing. It needs to be the end of it.
Why?
Why? Because it's a clown show now.
How?
It's a freaking clown show.
How?
Because of what we just saw happen to Francis Ngannou when he went in there and got starched in the second round like that. No MMA guy who's gone over and do these boxing matches has ever looked so helpless in there with the real, true, tested boxer. It was ridiculous.
So what happens when the boxers knock each other out in 1 or 2 rounds then? What happens when Manny Pacquiao knocks out Ricky Hatton, who at the time only had 1 loss to Floyd Mayweather, knocks him out in the second round? What do you do when Mike Tyson knocks out all these other boxers who spent their lives doing it? Hold on. What do you do then when he knocks him out in less than a minute? I get what you're trying to say, but dude, that's the fight game. That's the fight game. We can go the full 5 rounds in the UFC, like we just saw in the main event at 299, or you can end in 1 round. Jorge Masvidal knocked out Ben Askren. We go, well, that's the end of putting a wrestler in there with a striker. Look what you get. No, do not be caught in the moment of just what happened now. It happened. That is the fight game, Griff.
It ain't just that, though. It wasn't just what happened with Ngannou and Joshua. I'm talking also the breaking news we got that 27-year-old social media pop star is going to be going in there with Mike Tyson for a boxing fight. 58 or 68-year-old Mike Tyson?
Okay, and your point is Randy Couture was 45 years old in the UFC when he fought.
Different, man.
No, it's different in a sense, but at the same time, older fighters, if you, look, you've seen Rocky 6, well, I don't know what your movie history, if you go out there and you could pass the physical test, and it shows that you're clear to fight, you still got the passion for it, go for it.
You were not on board with this back when Nate Diaz was going to go over there and fight Jake Paul. So you're telling me you like this matchup better?
Why wasn't I on board with it? Do you remember why?
What was your reason?
Because I knew Nate Diaz wasn't going to take it seriously. I knew Nate Diaz was not going to put forth the effort to really show up to that fight. And look, and guess who was right? When you watch the fight, did Nate Diaz, he looked like me out there physically trying to fight.
At least he didn't come in.
He didn't come in shape. He didn't come with a game plan. I'm going to snap him and hold him in a guillotine. Real fighter stuff. Gangster. No. So that's why I'm not for it. Just like Francis Ngannou. He lost to Tyson Fury. But what do we all say? He earned respect from everybody because he took it to him. This time he did it. Now, we can get into it in just a moment. I'm on board with it as long as you're taking it seriously. I don't watch those Floyd Mayweather expeditions because he's taking on guys overseas weighing 120 pounds that don't know what a punch is. I'm not watching that. But if you told me Floyd Mayweather was going to do an exhibition against, I don't know, Max Holloway, Volkanovski, Sugar Sean O'Malley, who called for it, I'm a little intrigued by that. Okay, if you told me Anthony Pettis was going to take on Danny Garcia, a little intrigued by that. But if you're Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, okay, it is what it is. But if you tell me that you're going to get guys who are just going out there for a paycheck and not try to fight, Nick Young taking on somebody, I don't want to watch that.
You're telling me that the matchup, and we're getting away from Joshua and Ngannou, so there's lots to talk about with Paul and Mike Tyson, which, by the way, Mike Tyson standing today, 57 years old, compared to Paul, 27 years old.
30-year difference.
30-year difference. So you're telling me, what about this matchup is making you so excited, where you're thinking, are we going to see a high-level competition between these two? Is there going to be a battle? Is it going to be a war that people want to talk about for years to come?
First off, you never know until the actual fight happens. 2, I'm not saying I'm excited for it, but what I do know is Jake Paul has shown he comes to every fight trying to be in the best shape he can be with the game plan. He's not the most technically sound, but tell me one fight where Jake Paul didn't go out there and look like he was trying. Yeah, it looks clumsy at times, but he's trying his best for what he's got at that moment to give it. Mike Tyson, we saw against Roy Jones. You think Mike Tyson's going to show up out of shape? You think Mike Tyson's going to come in there and just throw a jab and not anything else? In that particular fight, he was going at it. And we've seen the videos. The fact that these two guys are taking it seriously, I'm with that. Now, back to the subject at hand, since you want to get off track here. We got to go a little overboard. Joshua, 27 at the time with 24 knockouts. One of the hardest punchers in boxing, period. So now when he knocks out a guy, oh my God, it's a clown show. Look at this. Yeah, that's what he does. He knocks people out. What do you think those other 24 guys were? They weren't actors and social media people. They were trained professional boxers. And guess what 24 of them did? Went to sleep. Deontay Wilder. How many guys has he put into another galaxy?
A lot.
And he's not fought a YouTuber or an MMA guy. So then what do you say about those fights? Oh, well, that's how. No. If you're going to step in fights, anything can happen. A high kick to the head early in the round, a flying knee, a quick submission when you try to go for a takedown. Anything can happen, Griff. 13 seconds. Clown show. It's ruining the sports. I don't hear you complaining about that one.
It's a clown show when the guy who got knocked out in two rounds, that's not his sport. And he signed this deal with the PFL. Now, can we at least now say that we're ready to see him get back to MMA? Or can we see Francis Ngannou? The boxing was cool. It was really a good experience. But can we see him now get back into the octagon and do what he was meant to do, which was hold MMA gold? Compete with MMA killers.
Well, his next fight is going to be in the PFL. They did say that after he's done with this, he's going to fight again. Fury and even Joshua said afterwards, Ngannou, don't leave boxing. You need a shot in the arm right now, and Ngannou can provide that. And also think about this real quick. As we're trying to wrap it up here, he's going in there to the deep ends here. He's going with a Titanic son. He ain't taking on no-name boxers that we haven't heard of or 57-year-olds. He's taking on the creme de la creme.
And good on him for it.
So guess what? I'm taking on the best of the best. That's like saying if you go on the track and field in 2015, yeah, my first race is against Usain Bolt. Yeah, my second race is going to be against Justin Gatlin. I'm only taking on the best of the best here.
That is true.
So in that respect, yeah, I'm going to look like I'm sorry. But if for an example, if he took the Jake Paul route, fought other MMA guys, fought other celebrities, or just fought lower ranked boxers, he would look completely different. But then that's so much time that you got to put away where, hey, I got a short window here with my age and physical capabilities at their prime. I got to try to make as much money as I can. And he cleaned up for real.
He made that back.
Shout out to Anthony Joshua, though. He went out there and did what he had to do. He didn't play no games. And what I like is, and I said this before in my preview, if Anthony Joshua is motivated, focused, and ruthless. I'm telling you, AJ's a tough son of a gun to go against. When he takes on Wilder, it's Team USA all the way. But Joshua's a tough son of a gun to get by if he's got everything going. And I feel like his losses to Usyk and then his 3 fights since then, before Ngannou, was getting him on the right track. And that's something the UFC doesn't do. You lose a fight, you're right back in there with another killer.
Oh, yeah.
In boxing, you can kind of say, hey, I need to get my guy back into the groove of things, get his confidence back. Now that we see AJ with his confidence and seeing this, but I'm telling you right now, whatever fight he makes sense, whether against Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, who won on the undercard, or the winner of Usyk Fury, I'm excited to see what happens then.
It'll be exciting to see for sure. I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
So, speaking of exciting, like we said, that was in Saudi Arabia. If you turn the plane around, come on back over the seas, you're laying in South Florida.
It's a party. It's a party in the 305.
You went down to UFC 299 and Griff, we had ourselves a hell of a one. Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yep.
Tattoos. Hair color.
Pink shorts.
Very big personality. Confidence galore. The fur coats.
Yeah.
How's he going to look in his first title defense? It's easy to climb the mountain when you're hungry. But when you're at the top and you're waking up in silk sheets, do you still want to run 5 miles? When you are the main guy and everyone's looking at you, do you still want to put in those extra hours in the gym? Well, we're going to find out. He came through with flying colors. Griff, I'm going to leave it to you right here. One of the most impressive performances I've seen for someone's first title defense. Take it away.
Oh, those are high praises you're giving him. I like that. I like
Got
the
to.
respect that you're giving to the Sugar Show.
Well, unlike some people, I'm not a natural hater.
Natural hater. But guess what? Not of the Sugar Show, baby, because everything happened the way your boy pointed out was going to. I was not surprised. I came in Saturday night watching the fights. Right before this fight started, I said to myself, this is going to be either a unanimous decision for the Sugar Show, or it's going to be one of those late last-minute knockouts because of the man he was fighting in Chito Vera, who is still never been knocked out, never finished in his UFC career. 10 years in the UFC, never been finished. Absolutely wild. And outside of a broken orbital bone because of a beautiful Beautiful time.
How did he stay standing after that, Griff? His feet must have been nailed to the ground or something. How did he keep standing after that? Go ahead.
They build them different in Ecuador.
I'm trying to tell you, man, there's something else in that water, boy. I don't want to taste it because I don't want to fight with no broken overboard. But man, oh man, beautiful knee, by the way, by Sugar Sean.
Gruesome, but no, very impressive by Sugar Sean. I loved it. I love that, despite not getting the finish, he still, like you said, he looked damn near perfect through all 5 rounds. It was a great night for him, and I don't know if it's the biggest win he could have gotten for his first title defense. I think the biggest one in his division could be the one that's up next. But for now, Sugar Sean, one of the bigger names, superstars in the UFC. Go boy.
What I liked about it in watching the replays is how he set it up. We talk about at times when fighters are going at each other, they do certain feints or they throw out certain moves. They're taking in that data and saying, okay, this is how this person, oh, look how he reacts when I go to the left. Oh, when I'm throwing the right, okay. Wow. What he was doing earlier, I don't know if you caught this, he was throwing strikes up high with the punches, seeing how Cheetah was responding. Cheetah was blocking high the whole time. So then what does he start doing? I'm going to start going to the body a little bit, see how he does. What happened was, and I saw in one replay, when he was going to the body, Cheetah was still covering up top. Yeah. And I think Sean saw that and said, okay, no matter what I'm throwing, he's covering up high. So what I'm going to do is feint. And when I'm coming in, he's going to cover up high. What does that do? If my arms are going up, my head's coming down, right open for the knee. And it was beautifully planted, beautifully landed. Again, it's one of those where you say 9 out of 10 fighters that take that knee, they're going down. Mm-hmm. They're going down, and it's over with. Cheeto, we thought he was hurt. Griff, in watching the full 5 rounds, there might have been one time he might have been a little dazzled. Everything else was, oh, he's hurt. Oh, no, he's not. He just backed up. Oh, no, he's not. So you're right. They do build him different down there in Ecuador. Shout out to Cheeto Vera, man. One of the toughest son of a guns out there. But Sugar Sean O'Malley rose to the occasion, said, the spotlight is not too big for me. The stage is not too big for me. The bright light's not too bright for me. I am here to stay as one of the best in this division. I've been showing it on my rise up. I avenged my only loss. At some point, though, if Cheeto works his way back up, we can see a trilogy between these two. I'll be interested to see it, but man, oh man, I'm so impressed by Sugar Sean. Now I'm wondering, okay, what does he do next? Like we talked about before, sometimes we say, defend your title a little bit before you move up. But what happens if I clear out the division? What happens if the champion before me clears out the division and I picked off half those guys along my way? Do we just run it back with the same dudes getting title defenses? He did bring us Spain for Ilia Topuria. But wait, there was someone in the crowd who was like, you didn't say my name. You didn't say my name.
He disrespected that boy so bad.
Oh, my God. Morhab was, and I don't know if you saw the video, but even Morhab called him backstage and said, why didn't you call out my name? And Sean said, okay. Oh, I didn't even know who you was at first.
Like, I don't even know who that was. Just clowned him. It was awful.
It was one of the, and here's the crazy part. They have a built-in rivalry story. Yeah. Morhab took his Thriller jacket when he was confronting Aljamain. He knocks out Aljamain, his teammate. Now those two can go at it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on what would you do with Sugar Sean next if you're the UFC?
I'm gonna say obviously stay in the division. You got a number 1 contender in Merab there that needs to be answered. That fight needs to happen. But more than just what's going on in the bantamweight division, I would argue against Sean going up and fighting Ilia because of what's currently going on at the featherweight division. Ilia has just gotten this belt. Sean has just defended his belt one time for the first time. There's so much groundwork that needs to be done. Ilia, there's guys like Yair Rodriguez, Max Holloway. There's contenders at featherweight. For bantamweight, you got Merab. You still got Corey Sandhagen. There's fights that need to be booked, fights that need to be done, pecking orders that need to be set. I want to see that fight. I think Sugar Sean versus Ilia Topuria, whether it's in Spain, whether it's the headlining card for UFC 307, 8, 100, if they could have gone back and done it, I would have loved to see it. But there's just way too much work that needs to be done. And what builds a fighter's status, what builds his star power. Sean's already got this star power, obviously. Ilya's on his way up for sure, especially with endorsements from major soccer franchises. That's insane. These boys are both building up and getting bigger and bigger. Why shoot your shot so early when you can just wait? Just wait a couple fights, 1 or 2 fights. Let these boys rack up these W's, and then you have a fight between the two champions that's even more exciting than it would be if you guys were to book it right now.
Remember how we would talk about how the UFC's light heavyweight division at 205, it's a mix of champions just exchanging it, so no one's really able to build momentum? What if that's what these guys are looking at? Hey, look, I got to strike while the iron's hot. I don't know how long I'm going to be up here. They are in 3 divisions, 135, 145, 155. We'll throw that one in there.
Okay.
Littered with killers.
Littered.
You can literally pick from 1 to 10. Either one of those guys, maybe 7 of them, probably could be the champion if given a shot the next fight.
Okay.
It's one of those where you just say, listen, and again, if I already went through most of the division coming up to get the title shot, the champion before me that I dethroned, he beat 4 or 5 guys as well. Now we're just going to run back everything. And then think about this. How many of these guys have separated themselves to the next level? Max Holloway has shown, if your name is not Alexander Volkanovski, you're not beating me at 145. So it makes sense for him to still be up there at the top. Brian Ortega just came back. Now, he got a tremendous victory, but he just came back. 1-4 in your last 5 fights? Or 1-3 in your last 4? That's not title worthy just yet. That you have a big name, but dude, you need to get back out there so people remember how good you are. Whereas now you look at it and say, okay, no one in 45 is really up there unless they're moving up or moving down from a division. 135, there's one guy here. Outside of that, who else is there? I got to have my eyes on the big prize ahead of time because 1, now all these fighters are trying to fight until they're 40. 2, you're trying to cash in as soon as you can because you don't know how long your reign at the top is going to be. Yep. Look at Alexander Volkanovski. We thought for sure he was going to dominate 45 for a long time coming. Then some dude from Spain says, nope, my turn. You just never know when someone has your number. So I totally agree with what you're saying, but I can totally see where these fighters are coming from, where they're looking ahead saying, I need those big money fights while I'm still the big money name.
My argument to that is, like you said, there's a lot of killers. You know, you have the belt now, shoot while the iron's hot. I get that. But at the same time, if I'm seeing a champ versus a champ, I want to see a legit champ versus a champ. I don't want to see a fighter who can just get the belt and then make the most of it because he knows this time is short. I want to see 2 guys who've established themselves as the killers in their divisions. It doesn't matter how many times they fight, how many times they have to get in there to defend their belt. They're going to do it. That's what I want to see.
Well, doesn't me being a killer of this division shown by me having the title? I didn't get this title just off my second fight in the division.
A lot of guys and girls have lost that title before even defending it. A lot of them have lost it after only defending it one time. Well, you have other guys and girls who have defended their titles multiple times, have been at the top of the mountain multiple times, a la Alex Volkanovski.
And guess what? You lost your opportunity. You lost your chance. Did you have an opportunity to take on somebody? Valentina Shevchenko, did you have a chance to go and fight Amanda Nunes for the 3rd time, but you didn't take it?
She didn't take it.
You didn't take it. A lot of people felt you won the first one, but you didn't take it. Okay. Some of you others out there, other champions, do you want to take on this guy up here? No? Okay, too bad. GSP, I love you. But you never wanted to move up to 185 when Silva was there. There's obvious reasons for it, and I don't blame him for that. But there was a moment where you had it, gone. Some of these guys are like, yeah, I don't want to miss that moment. Think about this real quick before we move on to the co-main event.
Yeah.
At one point in time, your boy, hottest name out there, goes and takes on Mayweather, gone from the UFC. Think of all those guys that thought they were going to get a crack at Conor McGregor. Some of them are still in the UFC, and they never get it. And not just Conor McGregor. What about guys who want to fight Jose Aldo, who want to fight Anthony Pettis, but they move on to other places? Frankie Edgar, but he retires. Sometimes, hey man, Khabib. You thinking at some point, okay, if Khabib's the guy, I got to work up there. Wait, he's retiring? No, not at 29-0. Yeah, he's retiring 29-0. Gone now. Some of these guys who are struggling to move weight, you move on in weight. Those big matchups now are no longer there. So again, I get what you're saying. I do. As a fan, I completely understand. But I can also see from a business standpoint, if I get a chance to do this while I'm in my prime, I'm going to go for it. I can always come back to this division because I'm a champion. But I'm going to try to go out there and try to get as many Alex Pereira. I'm going to try to get as many belts as I can because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing, I guess.
In the co-main event, we had a lightweight bout between Dustin Poirier and Benoit Saint Denis.
That was the best fight of the freaking night, bro.
We said this was going to be a war, and it did not disappoint. Griff, talk us through it, my man.
Oh my goodness, I hate this man, Dustin Poirier. He just keeps doing it. He keeps doing it. He knocks out your favorite fighter. He breaks his leg.
Your favorite fighter.
He goes out there and you think, oh, finally justice. Gaethje kicks him in the head. Finally some justice. Then he comes back against this French God of War killer, Saint Denis, and everyone said it's done. Poirier, here's your old man slippers. Here's the freaking remote so you can watch freaking Dateline all day.
Go take your hot sauce and enjoy life.
Go enjoy your retirement, buddy. He said, F that. This is my house. This is my house. This is the house Poirier built. And he just, second round, TKO. Woo! It was a beautiful fight. Earned Fight of the Night honors. Absolutely well-deserved. This fight was amazing. Shout out Dustin Poirier, man.
Saint Denis lived up to his name. He was being aggressive. He was coming at Dustin. There was definitely times where you look like, oh boy.
He was out muscling him the entire time. It looked like Poirier just could not, any position Saint Denis wanted, Poirier just couldn't help it. He had to get into it.
And Poirier is a legit high-level jiu-jitsu black belt. So it's not like he's not unaware of the ground game. But like you said, he was just getting bullied in there. But shout out to Denise for going out there and saying, hey, I got my big moment. I'm taking on one of the all-time best. Let me go out there and show you guys why they call me God of War, why I get all these finishes. And Poirier gave him all the credit after the fight. But shout out and much love and respect to Dustin Poirier. He realized, okay, this isn't working. He tried to go for the guillotine like 17 times.
That jump guillotine, he loves it.
Wasn't working. And it was funny because he said he's never even want to fight with it. Somehow that's his favorite submission attempt, though. But he goes out there and makes the adjustments. And just for me, I felt like this was like a movie scene.
Yeah.
It was almost at one point he was trying to fight one way. Okay, let me fight like a wise veteran. This and now I'm gonna beat you at your game. It ain't working. And at some point he just said, I'm Dustin motherfucking Poirier. I'm the diamond. Hold on, goddammit. Gaethje might have beat me with the head kick, but I knocked his ass out. I submitted Michael Chandler. I knocked out Conor McGregor. So let me show you what I can do. Pop, 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 pop. And he set it up so nicely with the 1-2, the hooks, his movement.
Oh my God,
when it got against the cage, I was thinking like you, oh no, Denise is going to grab him. But Poirier, sure enough, stuffed the takedown, got away from it. And when he got some angles, that right hook drops him, puts him down. Beautiful. He's a right-hander that fights like a southpaw, aka winky right in boxing, where my lead hand is my power hand. So when I'm throwing a jab or a lead hook, that's my power coming at you. My left is just to set you up. The power's coming from the lead that caught Denise. Poirier went out there, and here's what's interesting.
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje, his last fight, I forget the guy that
he beat Rafael Fiziev before he knocked out Dustin.
He beat Rafael Fiziev. Dustin Poirier just beat Denise. Charles Oliveira beat
or no, I don't think he beat, but he's scheduled to fight
No, his last one.
Dariush.
Beat Dariush.
Yeah.
What I found, and Gaethje, no, he beat him. It was somebody else. But what I was trying to get at was, if you look at the UFC, how they had this next slew of lightweights ready to take over from the old dogs. All the old dogs said, our time ain't up yet.
Yeah.
Our time, maybe we beat each other to a pulp in a circle. Our time ain't up yet. Sit down, young bucks. Your time will come later. They all went out there and got impressive victories. I like that fact, by the way, that these guys are still showing, no, we're still the creme de la creme. We're just in a bottleneck right now on who's going to get the next shot at the title, fighting each other, beating each other up. But you guys are not on our level just yet. I loved it. It was a great showing and definitely lived up to the hype that was worthy of the co-main event.
I loved, to piggyback off of what you just said, it's amazing to see these old dogs still stay in the top 5. All these young cats coming in and they're just not letting them through. They say it's not time. It's not time, buckos.
No.
The old men still run this division. And now we have Charles Oliveira, who's scheduled at UFC 300 to fight Arman Sarukian.
You going down, buddy, because you're going to be Charles Oliveira.
21, 3-0. This man has got an impressive record again. Another young lightweight coming up. It's going to be interesting. But if Charles can defend it, Charles better be able to keep this streak going. Dustin got his young cat out the way. Gaethje got his one out the way. So now it's up to you, Charles. You could have had a second chance at fighting the belt with Islam. We understand what happened with the training. It was an unfortunate incident. But hey, if you really are that guy, do what all the other fucking top contenders are doing. Beat the young boy up. Beat his ass and prove you're still the best.
Du Bronx. Vu na mahera. I hope I said that right because I've been practicing on that one. You're going to die.
You are going to die.
I'm telling you, Charles Oliveira does not play. He is going to. Okay. 300 is still a little bit of ways away. Don't get too excited.
We ain't going to get too excited. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
We are going to get there. Might even dye my hair for that fight. Who knows?
Oh, please do. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
We'll see. MVP.
Yeah.
Michael Venom Page made his UFC debut against Kevin Holland.
A little lackluster, but yeah.
I know you didn't just say that.
It was a lackluster.
I know you didn't just say that.
It was definitely not the most exciting.
He dominated.
He dominated in a way, yeah, but not in the way we all thought. That fight did not go the way anybody expected.
And whose fault is that?
Not saying it's not anything wrong with it. A win is a win. You fight.
Exactly.
You fight to win the fight.
And then he tried to go for he went for it. He landed 3 spinning elbows. Mm-hmm. He went from some type of weird helicopter spinning, I'm going to twerk my body around kick that he fell on.
That behind the head elbow he kept trying to land.
He kept trying to land. He went in there, was lining them up with straight rights. Yeah. What exactly was he supposed to do? Look, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. No, Kevin Holland was so stifled. He got so frustrated. He didn't know how to react, so he couldn't be as aggressive as he wanted to. And MVP, first off, shout out to the entrance, doing the Undertaker thing, coming out there with the robe on and whatnot. Shout out for him. But I know people are saying, well, Izzy did that before. Dude, we're all fans of something, man. I'm sorry that someone did it before.
We all like things, man. People are allowed to like things.
You're allowed to like things. And who says I can't repeat it? I did it differently. I didn't come out with the urn and the painted nails and the hat. I came out with the robe. But anyways, I thought MVP looked good because we do hear about the UFC jitters. A lot of times when fighters from other promotions come over, the lights are a little bit brighter, that stage a little bit bigger. He looked comfortable in that cage, looked in his element. I liked it. I was impressed. Yeah, it wasn't a highlight reel finish, but not all fights are going to be like that. No. Sorry. But I definitely enjoyed watching it. And I look at it and say, hey, he works on a few things, his takedown defense. I know it's not his style, but dude, you have to keep your hands up at some point because you're going to fight somebody.
That is ridiculous.
You're going to fight somebody who's going to figure out your foot movement and they're going to track you down. But anyways, I was impressed by it. I look forward to seeing his future matchups in the division against some of the other guys. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is obviously a name out there, but he says he kind of doesn't want to do that just yet. But hey, if the UFC asks him to, you're not impressed. So what do you do with MVP next?
I mean, you gotta kind of have to fast track him a little bit. I didn't realize until the fights that this boy is 36 years old. He's not young by any means. So you kind of need to, I don't know why he would reject that offer of fighting Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
I think they're friends.
They might be friends. I get that. But like Dana said, friends don't compete for belts in the UFC.
This is so true.
You don't make friends in this game. You got to fight the guys you have to fight in order to move up. And if MVP wants to go from being a Bellator champion and now come over to the UFC and have a chance to be a UFC champion, he's going to have to knock out some big names. Stephen Thompson is the most logical next fight, and then from there you keep going up into the welterweight. Especially, and he's even talked about how his dream is to fight Leon Edwards in England, 2 Brits fighting for the welterweight gold.
That would be something.
That's amazing. But guess what? That
would be amazing.
You don't get there unless you start knocking out some names. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's a beautiful next name to knock out.
No, it is. And just very quickly, Wonderboy Thompson is ranked 8th. Mm-hmm. He just beat Kevin Holland, who's ranked 13th. Well, next at 12 is Neil Magny. At 10, you got Vincent Luque. You got Jeff Neal after that. So there are some names along the way if Stephen Thompson isn't there that you could test yourself against and see how he does there.
I just thought about something.
Lay it on me now.
How about this? How about this one?
Lay it on me.
He asked for Kobe Covington, this fighter I have in mind. If that one doesn't end up happening, because we know Kobe likes to run. If that one doesn't happen, how would you feel about MVP versus Ian Gary?
I like it.
You like that one?
I like it.
That's a nice little matchup.
The only reason I didn't want to mention Ian Gary first, this is what I don't like to do. Mm-hmm. I understand it. You remember when John Jones beat Ryan Bader?
Yeah.
2 undefeated prospects going after. Now, granted, John Jones won, so he got the next title shot. I don't like setting up guys who look like they could be potentially the future of the division early. I want to wait till we get to that point where we say, winner of this gets the title shot. Winner of this, I'd rather wait because then I feel it gives you decent credibility if you was to lose in a close, tough bout. If you get smoked and you guys aren't in the top 10 just yet, well then what the hell, dude? I might as well just leave you down here and put you on fight cards in the Apex Center. Gary is 6, so it's not outside the top 10, but it's only his second fight in the UFC. You talk about fast track. He beat Ian Gary with Kobe Covington already losing. Gilbert Burns, I mean, you got to say at that point, he's got to be taking on the number 1 contender if he beats Gary.
Problem is, I think out of all the divisions, welterweight might be the division with the most dangerous, the most number of these young, hungry prospects. You got, I'm not going to not say his name right this time because that boy deserves his respect after beating on Saturday.
Rotmakov?
No.
Shavkat?
Well, obviously you got Shavkat, you got Ian Gary, you've got
Sean Brady.
You've got There it is. Jack Della Maddalena. These guys are. Then he just called out Shavkat Ramnov, so no, those guys might be ended up fighting together. So it's like now a guy in 36 years old in Michael Venom Page. He's in such an awkward position because he's already so late into his career, coming into the UFC, and he's in the division where there's so many of these guys. There's so many of them that are young, impressive records, killers, and at the top is obviously Leon Edwards, and then you got the Gilbert Burns of the world and all these other vets. So it's kind of awkward. It's kind of a weird spot to be like, what's the best route for Venom Page to have the best shot to beat, potentially reach the belt? So I don't know. We go from here and see what happens, but I don't know. I think he's going to end up being tagged with either an Ian Gary or Madalena, one of these young cats.
And I wouldn't be upset at it. Like I said, I'd be excited for it. Hopefully, if he was to fight Gary, that could be a main event or co-main event of a big card, so it gets a proper recognition that it should. And look, at the same time, I mean, if you come in here and starts people, it is what it is. You can take the Alex Pereira route, or you can take the Tony Ferguson route. Which one you want? Hopefully you don't have the injuries that Tony Ferguson suffered, but which route do you go on? So it'll be interesting to see what the UFC decides to do with MVP going forward. But I thought his debut was good. He lived up to the hype, showed what he can do, some things he's got to work on, but I think he's a nice addition to the rankings and to the fight cards where you say, if he's on the fight card, I want to watch his fight. Yeah. I want to watch him fight. So the entire 299 was a success. Huge reaction from the crowds. They set the gate records once again, as the UFC does, because that's what they do.
Rising, man. It's rising.
Boxing had a great moment on Friday night. It is what it is on how people want to feel about those particular matchups. But again, just a few months ago, when they had the same matchup against Fury, we were all loving the fact that this is what we want in boxing. This is too. It happens, man. It's a fight game. It's the fight. A lot of mother get knocked down in the first round. It is what it is.
If that little social media YouTuber knocks out Mike Tyson on live television,
don't you even put that out there. Take that back and put it in. Do not put that out there in the universe.
Let it be known that I don't support it. I will not support it. I will illegally stream it, but I will not support it.
Don't say it on the air.
Well, not that.
Don't say it on the air.
You're right, my bad.
We do not illegally stream any events. We do not stand by that. Franchise Sports Media is all about paying for the shows that we watch.
I paid my pay-per-views.
All the time.
Maybe.
All the time.
Sometimes.
All the time.
When it's convenient.
Every single time.
When I got money in my pocket.
I'm not even blinking.
When my computer's fully charged.
Yeah, every single time. I got to make sure my internet's working right there. My Wi-Fi's connected.
Depends how the weather is outside.
It depends on what day of the week it is.
That is true.
And what month.
Tuesdays, I'm illegally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, Tuesday. Well, Tuesday's for something else. That's for the cable channels that I got to wait till the wife to leave to watch.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord. This has gone off the rails.
That's my Tuesday special. That's my Tuesday special. Wow. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up here for us here on the main event. I mean, we talked about boxing. We talked about UFC 299. We got 300 now looming. We had a couple fight nights before then, so we'll be diving into those. Some boxing matches coming up in the near future. WrestleMania 40 from Philadelphia. Woo! Got a special show lined up for that. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. You better get ready for it, buddy. It is going down right here on the main event on Franchise Sports Media. This is
Griffin Kemp.
I'm Kalani Lewis. Till next time, fight fans, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys on the next episode. Peace.